What's up, guys? So here are my picks for UFC 251 prelims. The cool prelims, not the early fight pass ones. I already made my video with the entire main card. I recommend you go and take a look at it. And then yeah, now I'm gonna do the prelims. So when I did the main video on ShareDog, according to ShareDog, Volkan and Jiri Prochaska were on the main card, and I don't know, it was not that case. So I already talked about that fight, but instead of the Paige Van Zandt, see, because I thought that Paige Van Zandt and Ribas was on the prelims, but no. So if you want to see the Volkan and Prochaska, what's that last name? Prochaska, it's on my previous video. On this one, I'll be talking about Paige Van Zandt and Ribas, but that one, it's on the main card, so just so you all don't get confused. So I'll start with that one, Amanda Ribas and Paige Van Zandt. I have Amanda Ribas domination. I just don't think Paige Van Zandt, it's in the, I don't think MMA, it's her passion anymore. I don't think she pursues being a champion. I just think she's honoring her last contract, and yeah, I just can't pick her. She seems in the last 2 years that has become more of a, influencer, Instagram influencer type of person. Promoting diets, promoting CBD oil, which is a weird thing. I don't understand why all these MMA fighters that were once big names, like even Anthony Pettis does it. They're promoting and talking about CBD oil all the time. Weird. I just think it's weird how all these MMA fighters do it, but yeah, I feel like you either have to have motivation for whether it's you want to be the champ, you want to be the best in the world, or you are driven by money and fame. Like Conor McGregor, for example, he's a guy that I think his desire to be rich, a millionaire, and famous is what gave him the drive to be, to do what he did. I don't think Paige has either one of them, and she's made the comment that she makes more money doing what she does as an influencer. That's a funny name, influencer. It's like, the fuck do they influence? But whatever, off subject. She's made a comment that she makes more money doing that than what she gets paid in the UFC, and even Dana White was like, oh, whatever, good for her. So this might just be her last fight. She's honoring her contract, and but putting that aside, her skill overall is, if you watch her last fight with Rachel Ostovich, she got dominated that first round in the stand-up, got taken down effortlessly, got mounted, got control on that first round. That first round was a dominating round for Ostovich. Then on the second round, just a quick slip, just a quick mess up that Paige takes her back and submits her with the rear naked choke. But I'm sorry, it was an armbar. Armbar. Is that what it was? Damn, I'm tripping here. What was it? Yeah, it was an armbar early into the second round. But besides her getting the finish, which you give her credit for that, she didn't look amazing. She didn't look like high level caliber. Not only that, but on top of what I said, I don't think she's motivated enough anymore. It's been a year and a half since she last fought. This whole last year, she's been more about, and let's see, if you look at her Instagram, you'll see what I'm talking about. She seems to be more into anything but MMA. So, but then Amanda Ribas, where is she at? God damn it, this is annoying. Does she even have a? So Amanda Ribas' last fight with Randa Marcus, she just looks better than Paige everywhere. And she's been fighting. She just fought 3-4 months ago. She fought twice. So she's had 3 fights in the last year versus Paige has had one a year and a half ago. And Ribas actually seemed they were scheduled to fight, but I think that's when Paige got injured. Yeah, I just see Amanda Ribas dominating her wherever she wants. She looks focused. She looks like she's actually, MMA's her thing versus Paige doesn't really seem that way. So I got Ribas by dominant decision, 30-27. And we'll see. I mean, I guess goodbye, Paige. It's whatever. She was never what she was supposed to be. And then Salikhov dos Santos and Muslim. I mean, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Muslim Salikhov. I have Salikhov by knockout. This guy, it's not only is he a really good MMA striker, but he actually is a kickboxing champion with a lot of gold medals. That's what he started as a kickboxer. So, a lot of these guys usually, even if they were not very successful, like the best kickboxer, those guys, when they come to MMA, they show it. And on his last fight versus, let's see what this guy, so he's a finisher. I mean, if you look at his record, and almost all of them are round one. Taleb was one, Ricky Rainey was one, Melvin Gillard was one. Holy crap, most of them are actually round one. Staropoli, he dominated him with the striking. If you watch that fight, he has really fast hands, really nice technique, and his hands are just so much superior to Salikhov dos Santos. For dos Santos to win this fight, it's gonna be, he has to take him down and get the knockout. Salikhov was knocked out by Li Jinliang, and he couldn't take the guy down. It just shows that when you're prepared for it, which I think Muslim Salikhov learned his lesson when he lost to Alex Garcia. Hey, I cannot get taken down by people here in the UFC, and I just think he'll be ready for the takedown. He'll force Salikhov dos Santos to stand up and trade, and I think he's gonna knock him out. Like I said, Li Jinliang is an example. This guy's not really a really good striker. He has power. You can see his thing with Neil Magny. Neil Magny dominated him. It's one that I picked. I think he was an underdog. But yeah, I got Muslim Salikhov by KO or TKO round one. Let's see. Man, Wikipedia is useful for this thing. So then Makwan Amirkhani and Danny Henry. I have Amirkhani by submission in the first round. If you watch this guy's fight with Burgos, he dominated Burgos 90% of that first round. It was towards the end that you could tell he got tired, and Burgos took over, of course, but solid grappling, solid submissions, and Danny Henry last time got submitted by Dan Ihe about a little bit over a year ago. And I don't think Ihe's grappling and takedown ability is as good as Amirkhani. He actually, Ihe dropped the guy with a punch, and then on the floor, he got a hold of him and submitted him. I think it was rear naked choke. Rear naked choke. And I basically see this fight going that way. Amirkhani takes him down effortlessly and submits him. Could I see an upset on this one? Sure, if Amirkhani gasses himself out the way he did against Burgos. But see, on Burgos, he didn't just try to take him down. He actually tried a submission and held on to it, so he burns his arms out. Hopefully the guy has learned his lesson and paces himself a little better. But I just think it's gonna come down all to the grappling. So I have Amirkhani by submission, and then Leonardo Santos and Roman Bogatov. I have Leonardo Santos by knockout round one. I think it's a perfect match for him. Santos is not only an amazing striker, and not only a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he's a world champion in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And if you watch Roman Bogatov fights, he looks like he's a grappler. Looks like he shines, mixing in the grappler with his striking. It's not gonna work. if grappling is what he depends on, I just don't see it working against Leonardo Santos. And this guy has good wins. If you Kevin Lee, he knocked out Kevin Lee. He submitted Rocco Martin. Finishing Kevin Lee and submitting Rocco Martin, it's not, that's not a walk in the park. And then in his last fight versus Stevie Ray, you can see he's very nice kicks, very technical striking, which makes him so dangerous, because if you take him down, well, now you're with the world champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So yeah. At the end of my last video, I didn't make a summary because I forgot, but I will this time. So I'm gonna make a summary of the entire 9 fights, like the 5 from the main card and the 5 from the prelims. So I have Kamaru Usman by KO or TKO round 3 via ground and pound. Like, I'm very specific on that one. I have Volkanovski by decision. I have Peter Yan by TKO round 4, but not very confident on that one. I want Aldo to, this is crazy because I like to be perfect on my picks, but as a fan, I want Aldo to win. As a MMA prediction maker, I want Peter Yan. But either way, I'm happy. If Aldo wins, I'm happy because I'm a fan of his. If Yan wins, I'm happy because I picked him to win. Rose Namajunas by decision. Amanda Ribas by decision. Volkan Oezdemir by KO or TKO round 1. Muslim Salikhov, KO or TKO round 1. Amirkhani by submission round 1 or 2. And then Leonardo Santos by KO or TKO round 2. All right, guys, have a good one.